Alright, so we're looking at another one of our James Bond games here, kind of celebrating Spectre, I guess. So this time I'm looking at my favorite James Bond game, which, yeah, I'm going to go there. I mean, everyone's going to point out Goldeneye and be like, how could you, blah. But I mean, Goldeneye was the Nintendo 64. This is a modern day video game, and not to say that, you know, classics are not as good as modern games, but I like this one more. I just, you know, I'm a huge fan of the Daniel Craig Bond. And, alright, so first of all, this is 007 James Bond Bloodstone, which didn't tie into a movie. It kind of was in place of a movie, because it was during that time after Quantum, before Skyfall, when everything was kind of on hold because of, like, the MGM bankruptcy stuff. I love this moment, just the throwaway of the helmet. It's a very Craig Bond moment. So, like, what makes this game my favorite? Well, first of all, third person. I'm a fan of third person video games over first person video games, and I think Bloodstone works really well as a third person game. So one thing I don't like about this game, which you're seeing here, is this smartphone thing. The whole seeing a game through a filter, kind of this stuff that started with Batman Arkham Asylum, carried over into a lot of games. And sorry, I'm playing on the PC and the buttons don't match to the controller. I'm playing on the PC with a 360 controller, but as you see, the on-screen prompts are still PC prompts. So it's been a while since I've played this with a controller, so I gotta remember which buttons do which. So yeah. But to me, Bloodstone, it plays like a James Bond movie. Like, the story's decent for a Bond story. Like, coming off of Quantum, which everybody was not as big on, which I'm on record as saying, I love Quantum of Solace. 4 out of 5 stars, in my opinion. And one, I feel like it goes higher every time I rewatch it. Seriously, give Quantum another shot. Rewatch it right after you watch Casino Royale if you can spare the time. It's a shorter Bond movie, only an hour and 40 minutes, so... yeah, so enough about Quantum. You can see that in my other Quantum of Solace video. But, I just think the action is good in Bloodstone. It's some really decent third-person shooting. I love the melee combat when you run up on guys and just beat the shit out of them. It's very Daniel Craig Bond-esque fighting. So we got this crane just dragging this thing around. And yeah, they do some good, like, set-piece moments like this, and it honestly feels like a Bond movie more so than any other Bond game has before. So yeah. Now we can kind of take down some guys, and so it is kind of weird. So this is after Splinter Cell Conviction, and as you can see, after I meleeed that guy, I was able to go into like a focus mode and do a headshot, which is something they ripped right out of Splinter Cell Conviction, which honestly, it's a great mechanic. And it's always weird that you gain the mechanic from doing melee combat, and it was weird in Splinter Cell, it's weird in this, but it's totally fine, and I love just running up and beating down guys, which you're not seeing so much. Here, I can run and beat this guy up. Yeah, so every time you take down a melee, you can get up to 3 of these focus things. And so you can only carry 2 weapons in the game. You have your pistol, which has I thought I had eliminated ammo. I guess it's only in the first level. Yeah, this is the second level of the game. But yeah, you have your pistol, which you can use, and then you can carry 1 other weapon, usually like an assault rifle or something of that nature. Yeah, I just love beating up dudes. Headshots in this game are pretty good too. And one thing this game does really well that I love in any video game is, for one, I'm kind of like, I'm a trophy or achievement guy. I love going for that stuff. But this game does one of those things where they give you a lot of in-game challenges, like so many headshots or so many melee kills, and you don't really get anything for them, but it's just fun to do those things, and it gives you something to do while you're playing the game, something to look forward to. So I always appreciate when a game does something like that. A lot of pulley systems going on in this level. Yeah, this is definitely the most cinematic Bond game. Because it's third person, you see a lot of Craig, and a little more dynamic combat because of that. Like, you know, when you get to see bullets whizzing by you, like the first person stuff just never does it for me in the sense of like cinematic. Like, but this game, like the cutscenes, they actually feel very movie-esque with like the camera angles and things like that. There's actually some decent stealth sections in the game, which, you know, any spy game should always have good stealth. Yeah, let's just beat these dudes up. He got a shot off though, so now people probably know I'm here. Alright, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do with your phone in this game. Like a lot of stuff to scan, like there's secret things hidden in the levels you gotta find with your phone, or like if you don't know where to go, you can pull it out and it'll show you where objective is, things like that. And I definitely got to the... I played this game so many times, I don't really need the phone except when you have to use it. But the first time through the game, you might pull out the phone quite a bit just to see where you have to go. The only thing... Like, one thing I like about this Bond model in this level is... It doesn't seem like exactly something Daniel Craig Bond would wear, but I can see what they were going for, and it's a good attempt, because, you know, you watch Casino Royale, dude's got some nice style. I mean, he's not just wearing suits all the time, so that is one thing I like, is that it's not just Bond in a suit all the time. You don't get that in a lot of James Bond games. Even in the movies, you know, he wears a suit quite a bit, but Craig has some style. I can't think of a time where Brosnan isn't wearing a suit other than like Die Another Day, where he's like kind of rogue, which, I mean, Bond is rogue all the time, so. Oh, that dude kind of snuck up. Alright, so yeah, there are times when you still gotta pull out your phone to find out where you're going. But Bloodstone is one of those games, like, I don't know what's going on with the James Bond license. So Activision kind of had the James Bond license for a while. And from what I understand, they're not holding it anymore, but I don't know who is. Yeah, so I guess I shouldn't just use the pistol the whole time. I should show off some of these other guns. One thing I will say about this game, you know, it doesn't look great. Like, you look at these graphics, you know, it's a licensed game. A lot of those kind of come with the caveat of, oh, you know, they're made very quickly and, you know, usually get what you can get. But there are really good licensed games. And I wouldn't say this is one of the really good licensed games, but I think it's decent. Like, it's a fine, like, I've come to this point in my life where I'm totally fine with like the way you have B movies. I'd say there's kind of like B video games, and this is a really good B video game. It just happens to be based on one of the all-time great movie franchises that I love. So for me, I love it a little bit more because of that. Like, I don't know if I'd go as far to say this game is underrated, but I don't think it's bad. I don't think it reviewed bad either. There actually was a really, the multiplayer, it's not really going anymore, but the multiplayer was totally fine when the game was new. I played quite a bit of it and had fun with it. But I've played through the story so many times, and it was one of those games I was like, yeah, I want to play through this on like the harder difficulties and try to unlock everything. Yeah, so now we got this little action set piece, you know, as you do in Bond. Which I gotta run from this drill. Which I mean, a lot of this game feels like Quantum of Solace, and that was the most recent movie up until the time, and I definitely feel like that was the model for this game. But it's definitely different enough. And as I've said before, I'm a defender of Quantum of Solace, so if I like that movie, I wouldn't say I wouldn't like the aesthetic for the game that they would go for. Definitely gotta run from this drill. Definitely seems way closer than it should be. But yeah, Bloodstone, this is the PC version, but it's on PS3 and 360 if you're still kicking around with one of those. It's one of those games that if I, like, since I can't get it anywhere else, I would keep it on a PS3. But that's a good point to call it quits after the big drill scene. But I do want to beat the shit out of one more guy. But thanks for watching, and if you haven't seen Spectre, go see it. I want to go see it again. I already saw it. I loved it. But thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see if I can find some more James Bond games.